playing
like
because I'm trying to expose
we
you. I'm trying to expose you.
you don't have clip cooking me. I have clip cooking you. I'm just saying that.
All right, what's up, everybody? I'm DJ,
And this is Yohan.
and this is the Give Me the Ball podcast.
Yes, sir.
Y'all, this is exciting, bro. I can't stop smiling. This is something for me personally. I've wanted to start for a really long time. Yohan hit me up. I hit him up. We kind of had the same idea going on. And so we decided, why not start it together?
No, for sure. You said it all. I mean, I feel like there was something that it was meant to do. When I saw your message and you told me you was about to start, I was like, man, let's go, let's do it. You know, I'm always down, and for sure, having my brother right next to me, man, it's always a blessing.
Yeah, bro. I'm super excited to get started. I don't even know where to begin, to be honest. This first episode is just going to be more introductory. We won't really get into the full glimpse of the podcast. I'll kind of tell you guys what it'll be like. But yeah, this is just going to be introducing ourselves and kind of why we wanted to do the show to begin with. So I know for me, I fell in love with podcasts after actually being on a podcast myself. At one point, not for long, I was just a guest. And then after that, I just started listening to a lot of podcasts. My brother put me onto a lot of podcasts, and I just was like, man, this is cool. I would love to start a podcast. And I yap a lot, as you guys can tell. So I'm super excited to get started. Yohan and I met in college, my first year in college. We were both on the basketball team. And man, we just clicked right away, bro. We just became best friends. I don't even know. I can't ever remember an awkward moment with Yohan. We always just kind of just clicked from day one.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I feel like I don't have only just good memory, you know. I feel like this year was just wonderful. Man, basketball will make help you meet people in your life that you would never imagine become your brother one day. So I felt like that moment was just like a big change and a big turn in my life. And I will always be grateful for all the connection and all the people and all the organization and even in myself, how they like help me grow. And yeah, man, DJ, bro, since day one, man, you already know.
Yeah, so just a little bit rundown of what the podcast is going to look like. We'll start off the show just talking about our life, something that stood out to us. We're both fathers. We're both married.
Yeah.
We're both former college basketball players. So we have a lot of exciting things going on, like all the time. I feel like our lives are pretty eventful. And so I think starting the show off with a little bit of personal touch for everybody. I mean, the whole show is going to be personal, but actually taking you guys into our personal life is going to be huge.
Yeah, for sure. Life is always not as much colorful as people think it is. There's ups and downs. I mean, it's like I always say to people, it's like the weather. You know, some days it's gonna be raining, some days it's gonna be snowing, some days it's gonna be sunny. But of course, the weather will change all the time. Having my brother right here, and we share a lot of same things together. Of course, fathers. Even if you got more in your plate than me, I feel like we're still having those connection together that we can just go and talk to. And it was like. And not just sharing with the whole world, you know, it's going to help a lot of people. You never know.
Yeah, man. And we never had a dull moment either. I think this is the most serious moment that we've ever had together, to be honest. It's kind of funny because I've never seen Yohan being this serious. I'm sure he's never seen me being this serious.
Yeah.
But that's not what the podcast is going to be like at all. We're definitely going to try to make it funny, make it memorable, have you guys coming back for more. Because like I said, there's never been a dull moment with Yohan and I, at least I don't think. And so,
100%.
Yeah, I mean, another reason I wanted to start the podcast, especially with Yohan, is because he has an interesting background. I mean, he's from Africa. He's not from the United States. And he used to tell me all the time about how they never had water to drink or they were...
Stop capping, man. Stop capping,
all the struggles that they went through in Africa. I mean, true story, though. He did play on a dirt basketball court, like, a lot. That was his court that he played on. I've seen it. It's real.
It's actually not a dirt court. No, it's not a dirt court because there's a lot of people have a lot of conception about Africa. Like we don't have water, we don't drink water. Like we even think this. How we do it indeed? No, we actually have some mostly outside court, especially where I'm from. You know, I play basketball in Niger. I mean, I lived most of my life in Niger, but I have a multiple backgrounds from Africa. That's why when people ask me, I say I'm just African because I have my mom's from Congo, my dad from Mali, and I was born in Ivory Coast. In French, we say Côte d'Ivoire, and also French is my first language, English my second one that I just learned when I came play basketball here and go to college. But Yeah, man. Like I having that's what this I feel like this show would be so great for the people that can relate it to us because not only you can see the vision that we have only from an African player that came overseas across the water and going to college, going to school, and trying to find the ways back to having a better future for not only himself and his family, and an American here that's struggling, having the same struggle. They all come together and trying to find something to get it together.
Absolutely. And another thing too is this podcast. Obviously, the name "Give Me the Ball." We chose that name because not only is it a basketball term, that's kind of what the podcast is going to be centered around. Mainly is implementing basketball terms into daily life and our hot takes and things like that. But we're going to cover a lot of things. We're going to cover culture. We're going to cover the NBA and basketball in general, music, TV. If we have any recommendations for everybody, this podcast is going to be limitless, but it's mainly for individuals who are young, married, have kids. We welcome all. Everyone's welcome, but that's mainly
Everyone,
who we're targeting, as well as people overseas. I know Johan wants to reach, some people in Africa, people in
for
Europe.
sure,
We don't want to limit the podcast to just the United States at all. And
for
so we're
sure.
going to definitely be paying more attention to current events and things that are going on in people's lives, so we can discuss them in a funny, humorful way, um, and obviously in a respectful way as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you hear something on the show that offends you, don't take it to heart because that's definitely not our intentions. We're
Not
just
at
here
all.
having fun, and being guys, I guess you could say. Another thing
Yeah.
about the show that's going to be different than a lot of other comedy specific podcasts is we're not going to swear. If we slip up and swear, because I know for me that's a challenge.
It is for me
um,
too. It is for me too.
um, but if we slip up and swear, we'll edit it out. We'll bleep it out. We'll do whatever it is. We want it to be welcoming to everyone. We don't want people to not feel comfortable listening to us. Sometimes we want everybody to
Yeah.
feel comfortable listening to our podcast and what we have to say. And we both have kids. I don't let my kids swear. I know some of y'all are crazy out there and be letting your kids swear, but I don't want my kids swearing, man. And if they hear me swear, there's a 90% chance they're gonna start swearing. And I want this to be something that they see, that their dad was part of. And we have a lot of huge goals for this show, and I think the more people we reach, the more positive of a message we want to send rather than a negative one. And I think swearing can sometimes give that vibe off.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I mean, I know this is one thing we talked about. This is being on the same page because, of course, when you have kids, they replicate everything you do. You're their first teacher, like people say. So you want to just be a good example, and then not showing that you're gonna be perfect, because nobody gonna be perfect, but just be as much as you can. Just trying to show them the way of how to become a better man or a better woman. I feel like we're on the same page on that. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So like I talked about earlier, the first segment we're gonna come on, we're just gonna briefly go over something that happened in our life that we feel like stood out. It could be funny, it could be serious. It just depends on whatever it was. It doesn't really matter. The second segment will then roll into, we're calling it the crossover. Obviously, basketball terms, keeping that theme going. So for us, we're gonna start looking into topics and areas of life, I guess you could say, that we normally don't look into. Like, for example, something that's trending on my wife's TikTok or Instagram, because we're on complete opposite sides of social media. If I see something on her Instagram that I don't understand, I'm gonna bring it to the show and we can discuss it and make fun of
Yeah.
it. And that's what I want to do. Or say if it's valid, because I'm not gonna lie, man. I feel like some of those little life hacks or trends that women be putting us onto, they be saving us. I'm not gonna lie, they be saving us. Like my wife helps me with so much stuff, whether it comes to like folding clothes or just small things, and like taking care of our kids too. And she sees all those things on her Instagram. I don't see all that. So I think, like, just something random that I don't usually dabble in, I'll bring it to the show, and that's what we'll both do. We'll both bring a perspective that maybe that we don't share. After that segment, we'll roll into the main segment of the show, which is called "Give Me the Ball." That is where one of us is gonna say, "Give me the ball." Whoever calls for it first, right? the other person will then ask a question to the person who just demanded the ball. And what that person's going to do is they have to answer. They can't be on the fence, yes or no. They have to give a definite answer, and they can't take their answer back. And then the person who asked the question lets them explain, and then after that gives their opinion or their thoughts on the question, why they're either wrong or why they're correct.
Yeah, that's like a really good point for our show that we're gonna do, because I feel like it's gonna bring the challenge, they give me the ball action that we do, like you about to do a confident thing in life too. There's always a give me the ball moment in life, not only
Check
in the
up, check up.
basketball term, like check up right now, just let me have it. So, and it's gonna be pretty fun, and I'm really excited for not only for us, but for the people that's gonna watch in the community, just to see what we have in reserve for y'all, for real.
Yeah, 100%. And another thing to say too is it's going to be more of a conversation between me and Yohan, less of a conversation between us and the audience. We're going to involve the audience. We're going to have you guys ask us questions that we'll answer on the podcast. Even we'll be glad to include the audience, but the podcast is going to be us communicating to each other, and I think that's how most podcasts are formatted. So that's not going to be too different.
Okay.
All right, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. You know, the biggest thing I'm excited for doing this podcast with you is because when we used to 1v1, we 1v1'd all the time, bro.
All the time.
like when
all
we were
time.
before practice, after practice, it didn't matter. We were always in the gym trying to 1v1. And it wasn't just us. We had everybody. We played a lot of King of the Court, but like, bro, bringing that same energy and that vibe to this podcast of like, not necessarily like trying to disagree with you and trying to go back and forth with you like we would in a 1v1, but like like I'm trying to like have that same intensity and have that same adrenaline rush of like we're in a 1v1 right now. It's me versus you.
So
Give me the ball. You know what I'm saying? Check up.
I know.
So
I feel that.
I'm super excited to just have that feeling again. Now that we're both done playing, like obviously I just finished my senior season. I know you're done playing as well. But it's just like, bro, bringing that same vibe. It's so hard to recreate that feeling. And I think having this is a good outlet for us to kind of pour that same effort and that same energy into, because we can't do it the same way we used to be able to competing at the collegiate level.
That is true. No, I do agree with that, man. Like that, man, those hours in the gym, man, I would never forget them. Those good and bad days, but it was one for sure was the memory, man. We used, man, that competitive levels that we used to have, bro, it was just insane. So I feel like, yes, of course, like every time in life, man, the ball will stop bouncing at any point. It doesn't matter either if an opportunity will come now or later, but at one point the ball will stop bouncing, and it's hard when you're an athlete. When you're an athlete that used to be at a high level competitive basketball, there's a certain level of adrenaline you used to get that is so hard to replicate right now, especially how life is going with all the things, like having your kids around and things around life. So I feel like, yeah, definitely having this podcast with you would get myself like, we get us like for good vibes for sure.
Just get it. Just makes me so excited too. But
we
don't have to tell them. We don't have to dig into like all the details of how I used to cook you, and we don't have to do all that. We can spare the listeners from that. We won't get into all that. I'm just playing because I'm trying to expose you. I'm trying to expose you on this podcast, bro.
I know, but yeah, we can say that. But let me tell you something, bro. You don't have clip cooking me. I have clip cooking you. I'm just saying that. So you better be careful on that one. And you know that's true. I have clip cooking you.
We talk about, bro, literally the one time you cooked me.
Hey, that's what I need.
We all know. I don't even know if we can say their names. We'll probably. I don't know if you have to ask to say people's names before or not, but I'm not gonna say his name just to be safe. But
sure.
If bro didn't have his phone out, that one time that you cooked me, nobody, like, there wouldn't even be a chance that anybody knew.
Hey, but let me tell you something. That's just telling you how bad that day was, though.
Oh my gosh, it's not even real. I'm gonna just say it's AI.
And some people will roll with that.
Yeah, should we post that video on our page?
I think we should post that one. You think so?
I don't know. If people actually make it this far in the episode, and we're not even that far in, if people actually make it this far, and we get like 5 requests for the video, we could post it.
Okay.
But we might just end up posting it anyway. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But nah, bro. Let's be real. You literally only fried me one time. I will say though, you were cooking me. So just to kind of give the people more, or at least the people that know me, obviously may not know you. And I mean, I talk about you a lot, so they know of you for sure. A lot of my friends and family know of you, but not a lot of them know you. So for those people who don't necessarily know you, I think it'd be great for you to explain your story, you know, like your journey from Africa, the people who helped you along the way, and, you know, how we ended up being at the same school. So if you could just tell the listeners a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, I'm so blessed on my story, and everywhere I will go, I will always give the glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for everything He done for me. And I was jumping to say that, man, you know, growing up in Africa, I was playing soccer first. But then when you get to play soccer, there's so many competitive players that play soccer. And, you know, when you're Africa, you're trying to find a way to really, you know, get out to find a better opportunity because, you know, it's a whole different story if I talk about how we don't have a lot of opportunity in Africa. But yeah, for sure, I started playing basketball, and then some recruiters came, some American recruiter came, and then they were selecting 15, 12 players to come to United States and play. And I was blessed enough, you know, to get recruited by that program. It was running by Mitchell Robin, which is my day one coach. She's my coach. She's like my mom now. That's
Shout
how
out
much
Robin.
she.
Shout out Robin.
Shout out Robin, man. Shout out Robin Mitchell. You know, the only reason I'm even here talking to you is because it's because of her, bro. Just being honest. And yeah, I got recruited. You know, unfortunately, I was the only one from that program that got here and played. So after a long AAU season and all this stuff, that's actually a funny story how I ended up in Washington, our college, is because I was actually looking for a college to go to, and then that day I was looking just to like taking some English classes because of course French was my first language, is my first language, so I was looking to taking some classes and stuff like this, and at the same time looking for the recruiting process and getting to a school, whatever, keep doing the dream that that brought me here. Then I was one day randomly at the gym, bro, and then there's this 6A guy that just popping up the bathroom, and I was trying to get to the bathroom too. I'm looking at him. He got backpack and everything. In my mind, I'm thinking that's a player. I'm like, it's a player. I'm like, man. I said,
he
hey,
he looked young too. I'm not gonna lie. He looked young too.
he's young. He's young, you know. And I was like, I was like, hey, bro, you know, like, hey, bro, like, are you a basketball player? You trying to hoop? You know, like the normal basketball thing. You know, I'm looking whatever, giving my background and stuff, and his answer was, I'm the coach. I was like, wait a minute, you the coach? I said, yo, it was crazy. And then, yeah, from there, you know, just giving my background, where I'm from, and I got invited to a couple up in gyms. And then I was actually his first year. And then, boom, bro, that's how I ended up there, bro. It's
Yeah, man.
wonderful.
Sweet. I
Yeah.
appreciate you sharing that.
Always, buddy.
And I guess my side for the people who know you but don't know me.
Yeah.
I grew up in the United States. I grew up in mainly the Western United States, so Wyoming and Idaho, both like very not city, just to say the least. At least the parts I grew up in. And I actually my journey to Washington State, that's where it was, not DC, but Washington State, is where
Yeah,
we
for
met.
sure.
It's actually kind of crazy too. Obviously not as interesting as Johan's might be, especially for those listening that are from the United States. But um, I moved to Idaho after 8th grade, so I did all my high school in Idaho, and I played basketball. It's when I started taking it super serious, and I played for an AAU team my sophomore year, and the coach for that AAU team just so happened to be the guy who, fast forward 2 years, recruited me to play for him in college. And so that was awesome. It was kind of a great opportunity, honestly, that he stuck with me and gave me that opportunity to play in college, because I only had 2 offers coming out of high school, and I did kind of feel disrespected by that, but that's a that's a story for another day. So I ended up going to Washington State, and I got out there pretty early. I went probably a week or 2 earlier than I actually had to, because I wanted to get in the gym and get comfortable and familiar with the area. And we had a group text with the team. Our coach was texting, and he added Yohan to the group chat, and I was like, oh, he sounds like he's not from the United States. So I was like, automatically, obviously something different. So I'm like, I wonder who that is. So Johan was always texting in the chat, like when he was lifting, when he was in the gym, and I'm like, yeah, I might as well just pull up. So I pull up to the weight room to get a little workout with him and another one of our teammates, and I was like, yeah, this dude's dope. Like, he's actually super cool, and start talking to him more after the workout, after we lifted and we got some shots up, and he didn't have a car. He was taking the city transit everywhere, and I was fortunate enough to have a vehicle. And so I was like, hey, bro, you need a ride home? Or no, you were riding a bike first.
I was riding a bike first. Yeah, I remember.
And I had the truck, remember? I had a truck.
Yeah.
And there was this big hill coming from our school up to the apartments, and he didn't live in our apartments, but he lived in apartments a little farther down the street. And so I'm driving up the hill after we work out. I say peace out to him or whatever. And I'm driving up this hill. I'm like, nah. So I pull over. I'm like, hey, bro, like, get in the truck. I put his bike in the back of the truck, and we're driving.
It was my conditioning workout. I told myself, bro, I got to get in shape. But it was like I have to conditioning type stuff workout. It was no other, but I'm glad to have to do that because it's definitely shaped me for going into that. But appreciate you for that day, though.
Of course. He's riding a bike up this hill, and I'm telling you, it was a hill for probably a mile, like straight mile, and it was like a curve. So like you went up from the school as a roundabout, and you went up the third exit of the roundabout all the way up a nut. Like it was just straight uphill for probably a mile. Maybe a little less, but still, it was pretty good distance, especially on a bike.
Probably a little less. Yeah.
And so I was like, nah, he can't walk. And I didn't know how far he had to go, or he can't ride his bike. I'm like, I don't know how far left he has on his trip, whatever. I'm like, hey, bro, get in the truck. So he gets in the truck, and we're talking, and I'm like, I know people in Africa speak a lot of languages, so I asked him, like, yeah, like, what languages do you speak? Like, what language do you speak in your country? And he was like, I speak French. I was like, oh, you speak French. And I was like, I speak a little bit of French, too. Like, I took 2 years of French. I don't speak French by any means, but I knew a little bit of French. Still know a little bit of French. Not as much as I knew then.
I feel like there's a lot of people that I see. Your French is pretty decent, bro.
Yeah, it was. I haven't studied French in forever now. But I was like, oh, no way. So then automatically I'm just like, bro, this dude is this is like my best friend already. And so from that point on, we kind of just hung out all the time. He was staying with his coach who brought him to the United States. He was staying with Robin at that time. And halfway through the season, that dude was at our house basically every night.
Every day, every night, bro.
Every day, every night. And it was dope. It was so cool to spend a lot of time with Johan. And again, another story for another time. But I ended up transferring after that year and haven't seen him since. Just been straight communication over FaceTime and the phone. And a lot has obviously happened since then.
A lot.
Both married, both have kids.
Wow.
Crazy.
Time's just flying. Like, I just remember now talking about it, it really feel like it was yesterday, though. Like, look today, though. Crazy.
I know, man. And again, man, like, I couldn't be more grateful for Johan, and I'm super excited to start this with him because, I mean, I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I'm glad that he's been putting in the time and the effort to do it with me. So,
yeah, for sure.
As far as that goes, I mean, more stories. We got a lot of stories just from 1 year. I know you guys probably wouldn't think that, but man, we spent all the time together. We got a lot of stories, a lot of funny stories, a lot of good inside jokes, a lot of things that I feel like could make a podcast pretty enjoyable for a lot of people. We want to bring joy to people, man. There's a lot of negativity in this world. A lot of people trying to hold other people down, and I think Johan and I represent the opposite of that. I think we uplift people. At least we make that a goal of ours to try to do that every day.
Sure.
And I think starting a podcast gives us the opportunity. At some point, it's gonna reach a lot of people, and it's gonna be a way for us to just spread positivity to the world, not just the United States, not just Africa, but to the world. And that's one of the main reasons I want to start the podcast too, because obviously I went through a pretty dark time with depression and struggling with that myself, and I think people don't have to go through that. People shouldn't have to go through that, and I think the more people spreading positive messages and showing people that you can do anything in your life if you surround yourself with the right people and the right things. And obviously Johan is a great person and a great example of that as well. So
That's true. I definitely agree with everything you said, bro. And then, of course, I think one thing that a lot of people would take about from the podcast is like being an athlete is not as much easier as a lot of people think. You know, and I don't want to give no number, but like a lot of people don't get to know basketball any other level, not even because of skill, but because of mental, what they can get to. And I feel like this podcast will like show a lot of people how being an athlete can like not only like having you have like multiple skills that can transfer in life, but also the people you met and the people you connect with. Like my brother, me and DJ, we went through so much dark time together that if it wasn't together, I don't know if me personally would be able to go through some times of that. So definitely a lot of people can relate it to us because we have a lot of athletes around the world, a lot of athletes that are my fellow brother back home in Africa. People here, my brothers this here, and I feel like a lot of people will get from it for sure. Yeah,
Definitely, man. And we have big plans for this podcast too, and so none of it would be possible or will be possible without support. And
yeah,
so we're gonna be obviously asking for a lot of support,
a lot.
and we're gonna make sure it's worth the support, man. We're not just gonna be out here putting out crappy content and begging for support. We're gonna make sure that you guys are supporting something good here.
For
We're
sure,
gonna we're gonna
for
make sure
sure.
it's worth it. And so I think obviously for this episode, we don't have a whole lot to go over other than just introducing ourselves. That's kind of what we want to do for the first episode.
Yeah,
But for everybody out there listening, we do definitely appreciate you guys.
we
The few or the
appreciate you.
many of there that there will be. And so what word should they comment? Like let's just confuse people. What word should they comment if they make it this far?
This comment like
How about they comment the country you're from? Comment Niger.
comment Niger, yeah, comment
Comment
Niger. I love
comment
that.
Niger in the
Comment
chat
Niger. And a
if you
lot of
guys made
people
it this far.
just for reference, a lot of people they get confused when we say Niger, they think it's Nigeria. Nah, there is Niger, Niger, and Nigeria, Nigeria, Nigeria. So don't make the confusion. Just Niger, Niger.
He is not. I'm just gonna say it again. He is not from Nigeria. He is not from Nigeria. He's
Not from
from Niger.
Nigeria. Yes, from
How
Niger,
y'all
bro.
say it? Niger.
In French, we say Niger. Yeah,
Niger.
that's where I'm from. I'm
Yes.
like when I say from, that's where I just live all my life. But I'm not really from there. Like I just
Yeah,
lived
yeah.
there all my life. So I'm from there. So
Yeah,
yeah.
bro. We'll start with the give me the ball.
Give me the ball, brother. Let me have it right now, man.
All
Are you
right, this
ready,
one.
bro?
My question for you, Johan. This one's gonna be pretty simple. It's a basketball related
Yeah, let's
question.
go. For
All
sure.
right. So for you, Johan, if you
Yeah.
could take a player from any era of the NBA, I'm talking Wilt Chamberlain, I'm talking Michael Jordan, I'm talking AI to current players. Who is one player that you would take to build a team around today?
To build a team around today.
This is essentially this is asking who your GOAT is, basically, without directly asking who your GOAT is.
Yeah, that's an easy question for me with all the names you just gave me, brother. That's a give me the ball moment. Let me get that. I got it. So I would definitely take a player that I would bring in this era today, and I would know they would win a championship. I would definitely say, and we take them out their prime, definitely Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson in the past, bro, he singularly, bro, he brought his sting, bro. Like, because I'm a small guard. Of course, I'll take a small guard. So, like, Allen Iverson, definitely, I'm going to put player around him because he was a player as a small guard also that brought his team to the final. And he didn't have a lot of pieces around him. So, today, with all the new players you got around him, and if you put them together at his prime, yeah, we winning. We winning like 2 or 3 chips. Yeah, I'm confident for sure.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think that's a bad take.
Go ahead.
I love the confidence in AI. Great player. I'm not
Yeah,
saying he's not.
great.
I'm not saying that. And you brought something to
Tough.
my you mentioned something that almost had me switching over. When you said he brought the team to the finals, he didn't have no help. That's valid.
Yeah, yeah,
Stepping over Ty Lue and everything. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But I just think about it and I'm like, he did have a point of time where he had really good pieces around him though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Especially when he was in Denver. Even in Philly, he had good pieces around him. I'm pretty sure he maybe not on the finals team, but give me the ball, yo.
Bet that, bro. Are you ready?
What category? What category are we in?
Well, I want to jump more into personal life real quick.
All right, that's fair.
Because I feel like I want to learn from you too, because I feel like this is one of the benefits and why the reason why I want even to do this podcast with you, because I know I can learn a lot from you, and you will learn a lot from me too. So,
Absolutely.
of course, you're a father, you know, and I've been following you for a little time, for a little minute, because of course we wasn't together for a little bit time, but I see how you're doing, how you taking care of your family, how you handling your business, how your career went super well over there, and I'm super proud of that. Shout out to you for everything you do. Best of knowing how you come from and what was the battle you was going through. So my question would be, if you could give an advice, right, to a younger DJ that wasn't a father yet, right? What would be your advice, and would you follow it?
How young are we talking?
I would say young, like about to be father time waiting. You know when you about to be a father and then you waiting and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and then you have so much pressure on you. Like we've been through that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
Or you
like
can even take it further back too. It's up to you.
that's a great question actually. Dang. All right, let me think here. I'm going to go further back because I did become a father when I got married. So I'm just going to go a
Okay.
little bit further back. I'll go back to like I'll give the advice to like 18-year-old, like right when I
18-year-old.
graduated high. I'm still learning this. That's why I would give myself the advice. But I'd say
Yeah.
right now, the advice I would give is like, it's going to sound crazy, but
I'm listening.
like just understanding that like when a kid's not listening to you, it's not because this is kind of funny, kind of serious, but like when your kid is not listening to you, it's not because they're like actually intentionally trying to like disrespect you or trying to not listen to you. And
Okay.
I say that because I have a daughter who's 4, I have a son who's 1, and I have a newborn.
Wow.
And my daughter, she's very, very smart. Very
Yeah.
smart. And my son's smart too, but he just can't talk yet. But
Yeah.
he knows like when I say something what it means and you can tell by how he acts.
Yeah.
And so I think, and like they're so young, you would think it's obvious. Like, well, obviously they don't understand you, they're not going to listen to you. But like, it's easier said than done. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm
Yeah.
telling you, share with your brother, or she had it first, or like when there's these little fights going on, or they're screaming, and you're telling them like, hey, cut it out, stop yelling, stop screaming, and they just keep doing it. You're just like, you want to lose your mind, bro, because you're like, bro, I just told them 50 times to stop, they're not
I
stopping. Like,
feel
what do
you.
I do? And I think telling myself when I'm 18, like, they're not doing that because they're like intentionally disrespecting you. You know what I mean? I think my daughter's
Yeah.
getting to that age where she knows now, like, no, he said not to do that. I probably shouldn't do that. So it's a little bit different for her right now, but I think for the most part, it's like understanding, like, bro, like their brains are developing, their bodies are developing, their emotions are developing. And when you tell them not to do something, all they hear is what you're telling them not to do. And so they continue to do it. You know what I'm saying? And just like
Yeah.
understanding, like they're developing as a human being. When do humans want to start listening? I don't know. But as a parent, just understanding like it's okay when they're younger, especially to just understand that they're developing as humans, and maybe yes, they're not listening, but it's more the consistency of what you do and how you show up and your actions, because what they're just your mirror. What you're doing is probably
True.
what they're going to do back to you. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And so kind of just understanding that more, and not putting so much pressure on myself to like make sure that they're listening to every single word I say. So
That's
that's
true.
what I would say. That's what I would say.
Okay. Yeah, what I'm hearing is just, giving not only to the kids a little bit of grace because they keep learning, but at the same time having a little bit more patience towards their
Mm-hmm.
side. And that's really wise, man. I agree with that. That's true. Because even with my daughter, man, she's still young, of course, but she's starting to understanding things like when she grabbing something on the ground and I'm like, hey, she looking at me. She knows she's not supposed to do it, and I know she know. she would laugh and keep doing it just because she's getting a reaction out of me. So
Bro,
it's like,
oh my, exactly. Like,
because
bro,
they're getting a reaction out of me.
my son, he's
Yeah.
getting like, cause he can't talk, bro. Like he's a little bit over one, and he's like struggling to talk. And
Yeah.
he's like, he takes his emotions out by like screaming and yelling and hitting. And so we'll just be chilling on the couch, like laying down or holding his little brother who's like a month old, and he's freaking smacking him. We're like, bro, what are you doing? Like, that's my reaction is like, why are you smacking the baby, bro? Why are you smacking your mom when she's asleep? Like, what are you doing? And I snatch him up real quick. I snatch him up. I'm like, bro, you gotta stop. And then I realize like he's looking at me laughing, and I'm like,
he's getting a reaction. That's what
like, why is he laughing? Like
you're
I'm
feeling
mad.
him. That's what they want.
Exactly. But like in the moment, that's like what I'm saying is like understanding and learning how to like, okay, you gotta like pipe down. You gotta actually grab him and tell him no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And be calm about it. Because when I get flared up, it's teaching them to get flared up too.
That's true.
And so it's like, it's funny though, because man, they be doing the craziest stuff. Like
I know.
dumping their whole snack out on the ground, stomping on it on the carpet, spilling their water or their juice everywhere. Like, bro,
I don't even know why I'm laughing, because it looked like my time is coming pretty soon too. But that's how it is funny, because like I want to get back to the culture, the culture separation between American and African people. So it's like how I grew up. My mama whooped me, bro. Like you know how I grew up, bro. My mama.
Hey,
I'm not doing what I'm in Africa. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm getting whooped. I'm not supposed to. I'm getting whooped. So like, but then at the same time, you get to understand that that's not how you should all the time raising your kids. Of course.
I think there's some things I got whooped for that I definitely didn't need to get whooped for, but I think there's also a lot of things that I'm like, all right, that makes sense. Like now that I'm a dad and I'm looking back, like that makes sense.
No, that is true though. Like, right, but I feel like there's a time and place, like, but not really like, not really. I feel like that's what the African culture, like some people, and I don't want to have everybody in general, right? But that's how I just grew up, right? Like in some ways, I'm kind of like glad for it, because I feel like there's some stuff I wouldn't do it again.
For
because I was a trouble kid and I did some crazy stuff, and I feel like there was some days I definitely deserved some whoop. But yeah, man, I like straight up, bro. And then it's like, yeah, like and then you know, like coming, of course, learning different culture, right? You know, having to. I'm trying to like teach myself, especially I'm a really new father. My daughter's not even one yet, so it's like I'm kind of teaching myself. Is like there's multiple ways to do things. It's not only the only way that you learn or that you grew up with. There are better ways. And then all the things that I was telling myself that I would bring into my household is all the things that I feel like was working, I'm going to bring it back. And all the things I feel like was not working, I'm not going to bring it back. I'm going to try to find a solution, or I bring it something that's going to be better, right? Because that's not everything that our parents did or was doing that's wrong or that's good. But at the same time, we got to give them a little bit of grace, because that's just how they grew up also.
Another thing that I'm starting to realize too, like with my parents, is like I seen this quote one time. They said, we don't realize it when we were kids, but we were just watching our parents grow up too. Your parents, it's not like they knew what it was like having kids before they had kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every time you have a kid, it's a new challenge. It's a new opportunity. And it brings something completely different. And I definitely feel that having 3. After every kid I added on in my life, it's like it's been different every single time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I'm learning every step of the way. Like 1 is different than having 2. 2 is different than having 3. And the list goes on. You know what I mean? And I think it's super important to understand that like our parents were just learning to every day. They probably had the same conversations that we have with our wives after our kids mess up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, maybe, or after we feel like we did something wrong. Like if I yelled at one of my kids, like I feel like, man, I probably shouldn't have yelled. Like our parents are humans, and they probably had those same feelings too. You know what I'm saying? But they also were learning as well as raising kids, just like we are. Just because we're younger doesn't mean that we're going through something completely different than our parents were. You know what I'm saying?
That is true. Yeah, definitely. I 100% agree too, right? Like our parents are human, and they will do mistakes and they're still learning. And I feel like it's important to learn, but to all the kids and stuff around, it's gonna be hard because when you're young, you think you know more than your parents, right? And then sometimes your parents also think they know more they should know, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it going both ways, but definitely I do agree with that. That's why I like having people like you around me, in my corner. I get to learn a lot from like your mistakes. Not saying that I'm only putting the light on your mistakes, but I'm like, what you're doing good. I look at that too, right? But at the same time, I'm looking, okay, what can you do? What do we feel like? How do we handle this type of situation so I can add it to my bag? You know what I'm saying? So I can add it to my bag too, so I can use it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
I got you for sure. Headed to the last segment now. This is the takeover. The
yeah.
takeover
Take
moment.
over, bro.
This is just when we had a moment in our life where we feel like we activated takeover. We got in our bag. We handled the
For sure.
situation. We handled
Yeah,
it.
bro.
We called for the ball. We got the job done. We hit the shot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
100%.
gonna let Yohan go ahead, take it away first with his takeover moment. I'll give mine, and then we'll wrap it up, man.
My takeover moment. I would say my takeover moment from this week is it's a lot of them, bro. As a father, or
Ooh, I
but
like that. You said there's a lot of them.
there's a
Okay.
lot of them, bro. But
You said he was in his
I
bag
was
all week.
I was on my duffel, not even the bag, brother. But let me see. I would say one thing that I'm really proud of that week, the takeover moment that I took is just definitely starting this podcast for sure. I feel like I always was set in my mind to do something, and I'm really lacking with consistency a lot of time. So setting myself to do something when I was like, you know what, when I got this, because this was, as much as people think, it's not really easy to come and show up and do what we do right now.
Mm.
Especially is doing his first time, so I felt like it was a definitely take over moment when I was like, give me the ball, DJ, and we about to
Hey,
take over the board, brother.
straight up. Hey, and I appreciate you. Shout out you because we really
Appreciate you,
did.
bro.
Like this isn't easy. I'm super uncomfortable
It's
right now,
not.
but whatever.
No,
We getting it done. It's gonna get more natural as time goes.
for sure.
But for me, I'll go ahead and get mine. My takeover moment of the week. I was gonna say the podcast, but I'm not gonna because you said it. So that's great.
Thankfully, you got me first.
But for me, man, we're getting ready to move, bro, and there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen. We're selling a lot of things. We need a certain part on our car to be able to pull a trailer when we move, pull our stuff out, and we don't have it. So I'm thinking, man, like, how do I do this, right? So what I did is instead of having my wife try and figure it all out, I said, you know what? Give me the ball. You know what I'm saying? Give me the ball. Give me the ball. As a man should. You know what I'm saying? But what happened was I said, you know what, baby, let me take care of it. Let me take care of it. So went online. I went to all the stores in the area, seeing if they had the part. None of them had the part. So I went online, got the best deal, bought it, got it now. We actually just got the last part today. All I got to do now is take it to the shop and get it fixed up. Then I can get a trailer, pull our stuff across the country, bro. But I was just super proud of that. I was just super proud of that because I feel like usually I put stuff like that off. Like we're getting ready to move in a couple weeks. I could easily said, man, like I procrastinate, bro. I'm a serious procrastinator.
Yeah, same too,
Unless
bro.
it's something I really, really want to do, like this podcast, and I'm like anxious to just start it. But with stuff that I'm like that, especially, it was boring. It's like it's not exciting. I'm like, whatever. But I was like, you know what? Let me take care of this now. So I'm happy I did it in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
In 2 weeks, yeah. Like
So
you're
I got
right
it
now.
done. We got all the pieces here, thankfully, because some of them were saying like it was supposed to take like 2 weeks to get here. So I'm glad I got it. I'm glad we got it here. All I got to do is just take it to the shop, bro, and get it fixed up. But that was my takeover moment of the week.
And that's good, bro. It's always good. It's always that time, as a father when we got to step up and do things, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I'll be like, man, but
Give me the
hey,
ball.
forever happy.
Bet. Well, that wraps up episode 1, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, especially if you stayed till this long. Again,
Appreciate y'all.
if you stayed till the first marker and you commented Niger, if you stayed till the end of the podcast, I want you to comment a potato emoji for Idaho.
A potato emoji. Okay, let's see.
Go ahead and comment a potato emoji. Let's confuse all the people who didn't make it through the full podcast. trying to see how many of y'all actually made it through as well. So anyways, like I said, we really appreciate y'all. We just felt like for the first episode of the podcast, we should kind of, explain a little bit of who we are to our audience and also give you guys a little bit of a taste of what the podcast is going to look like. So
yeah, for sure.
With that being said, man, again, appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
Support us, man.
Show us some love. Anyways, that's all we got for y'all. See y'all next week.
See y'all
Peace
next
out.
week.
Give me the ball, yeah.